Hi, my name is Laura. I live in Florida, and I am about to talk about the Coastal Boat Club, which is a members only boat club that you can join and take boats out on throughout the year. First, I thought I would explain what a boat club is because probably not everybody knows. I live in Florida, on the coast of Florida, and in this year of a pandemic, we were searching for something that we could do that would be social distanced and that would be fun and that maybe would get us, a little bit out of this pandemic state of mind. So I looked into boat clubs, and what they're meant to be is you pay the money for the membership. Once you pay the money for the membership, you can take a boat out 3 or 4 times a month, and all you're meant to have to do is bring your camera and your snacks, step on the boat, and take off. And then you bring the boat back when you're done and step off and take off. No worries, no issues. That's what a boat club is meant to be. So I joined this boat club, Coastal Boat Club up in Palm Harbor. I paid $2,674. The owner, co-owner, and I don't know about mentioning names, so I'm not going to mention any names, but was, just absolutely wonderful personality. I thought, okay, this is fine. I'm going to just go ahead and buy a membership. So I bought a membership for a year, paid the $2,674. I did sign something on her phone, which she was meant to send me a copy of, which I never received. So anyways, but I do have the canceled check and everything through my bank. We went out a total of twice. The first time we went out, we took a pontoon out, and that pontoon stalled on us a couple times. So we didn't go too far. And actually, I should mention that I am real familiar with boats. I've been on boats all my life, and so has my husband, and his brother was with us. They've actually worked fishing tournaments, so they know boats. And so when we got back, we told them about the motor. The motor needed help. It kept stalling out. We managed to get it started. Long story short, that was the first time we went out. Second time we went out, actually, we went and got a boat, and it had no top on it. And in the hot Florida sun, you need a top. We get down there. I'm like, where's the top? She's like, oh, it's at the upholsterer. I said, well, is there another boat we can take? No, I'm sorry. So needless to say, we didn't stay out long that day either. We stayed out maybe 45 minutes. So that was the total amount of time spent in a boat. Okay, we finally get there to go for our third boat ride. And they brought the same pontoon down to the water. I have it on video. Brought it down to the water. The boat would not start. They went and got a hot box, which is like it charges it. So it charged, they brought it down, got it started, and then expected us to get in it and leave. And we were like, oh my God, no way am I getting in that, Because if it stalled out again, we already knew the engine had problems. So if it stalled out again, we would just be like floating. So I asked the man I said, did you fix the engine? And he was very surly, and he says, I own the marina, not the boats. So I said, all right, well, can we take this box with us? And the guy laughs and says, I have a marina to run. I need that. And so we said, well, we're not taking this boat out. And we left. And they didn't offer anything. They didn't apologize. It was so totally unscrupulous and unprofessional. So I got a hold of the owner, who was out of town, went back and forth, sent her the video that I took. And she says, oh my God, I'm so sorry you had this experience. I promise I will make everything right as soon as I'm back in town. May I call you tomorrow? And I said, yes, certainly. I said, the only way you can make this right is to give me my money back. And at that point, I was willing to take $2,000. I said, we did use a boat a couple times. I will be fair and I will take $2,000. But that's the only way you can make this right because I'm not stepping foot in one of your boats again. And she said, I promise I will make this right, which, as I said, I have on text. After that, I never could get a hold of her. I ended up calling a lawyer, sending a demands letter, which she never responded to. I called the Florida Fish and Game to inform them of what had happened because we're actually boaters. And I'd hate to think of somebody coming down here on vacation and just saying, oh, let's take a boat, because you can also rent them, I think, for like $200 a day or something, $200 a half a day. So, and you don't have to have any prior experience. You could just get on that boat and go. Can you imagine if these people went out and got stuck? So it's just totally unsafe for the boating community. So I looked up all the maritime laws, and I ended up calling Florida Fish and Game. And Officer Brian Ferguson went up there, and he cited them for some violations. He told me it was not the first time he had been there. And he also told me that he informed them that if he heard of anything like this happening again, that they were going to have difficulty renting their boats. So that was that. I still never heard back from her. I went and filed a complaint with our county organization, who I sent them a 10-page package of all that I had done and all that had happened. And they wrote to her, and she was meant to get back to them within 14 days. As of this writing, she has not gotten back to them. The Better Business Bureau did not hear from her. The Attorney General's office, I filed a complaint with the Attorney General's office. The Attorney General's office did not hear from her. So I was thrilled when you folks wrote and said, hey, would you be interested in, because I'm like, yes, my God, yes. It's horrendous. I would love to show you the video if you'd like to see it. So here we are, folks. This is the 5th time we've been here. Coastal Boat Club, Palm Harbor. They put a boat in the water that won't start. They brought jumper cables to start the boat, and then refused to let us take the jumper cables with us.
I ain't doing that anyways.
If this boat stalls, we're stuck.
I ain't doing that.
No way are we taking this boat. Furthermore, we're going to fight to get our money back now. So they set up a calendar online. That was another huge issue. They have an online calendar. You go in there and you pick either morning or afternoon because it's a half day. You can take it for a whole day, but it counts towards you get 4 times a month, essentially. So you can go in and reserve a boat, say, every week of the month. If the weather's bad, they're meant to get a hold of you and let you know that, which did happen legitimately on at least one occasion. The weather was bad, and they won't let you go out. But different boat clubs have different benefits. But for right here, they're saying your membership includes 4 reservations that you can book anytime. These are 2 half-day reservations. We offer an online system for members that you have 24-hour access to reservations, changing reservations, and availability. You pay for your gas when you get off the boat, which usually is not, it's incidental. Essentially, you're meant to be able to go down there, your boat's in the water, you step on the boat. As I said, you have your little snacks and your camera. You step on the boat, you take off, you come back within 4 hours. They take the boat out of the water and put it away. And this goes on, for the next year. The membership was a 1-year membership. Nothing after that point. Nothing. Despite game wardens going up there, despite our county organization contacting them, despite the Better Business Bureau contacting them, despite the demand letter that I sent. They've not responded. Nothing. And I got to say, the reason I have not tried to keep calling and keep calling and keep calling is because I really don't see that there's any use in doing that. You know, she was a, I have to say, she was a superlative manipulator, as sweet as can be. And one day I drove all the way up there after not being able to get a hold of her, for example. I called like 7 times, couldn't get a hold of her. So I drive up there, I walk in, her back is to me. But before I could even say hello, she turned around with a great big smile. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you came. We're having computer problems. And just like, you know, she's just a superlative manipulator. So I said, there's no point in calling her. My next step is to take her to court. But you know, it's just unscrupulous business practices. It's total disregard for the boating public. It's total disregard for the safety of the people who are taking out those boats. That's not the way a business is meant to be run. First of all, I never got the contract, so I don't know what's in that contract. I did sign something on a cell phone, which was meant to be emailed to me. I'm too trusting. Way too trusting. So I have no idea what's on that paper I signed. But after those people tried to put us in that boat with no regard for our safety, I am not willing to go back there and get in another boat. I'm just not. And neither is my family, nor should they. Nor should they have to take that risk. So the only thing that's going to make it right in my mind is a refund. And as I said before, I offered to take $2,000 of the $2,674 I paid, because I did take a boat out on 2 occasions. But other than that, I have no desire to get back in one of their boats. I thought I had done my homework. You know, I looked at the reviews. I did see a couple bad reviews, but I figure, you know, everybody ends up getting 1 or 2 bad reviews, and those are the ones that usually get highlighted. So I didn't think too much of it. So I checked to make sure they were a legitimate business. There's a thing called Suncoast down here, Suncoast Biz, where you can check on a business, make sure they have. I went to the Better Business Bureau website and I found no complaints on them. So I thought, okay, you know, and they seemed like very nice people. They seemed like they had values and morals, and they were, you know, running a legitimate business. But that wasn't the case. So if you're just coming down here on vacation and you're trying and you want to rent a boat for a half day, it's very hard to know. The only things you can really do are to ask other people what their experience has been. You know, as you're down here on vacation, you can always ask somebody, hey, did you go out on this boat trip or parasailing or jet skiing? Because Florida has a million really, really good businesses, really top-notch businesses, and they're not taking chances when they send people out. So I don't want this in any way to reflect on any other Florida business. I've not heard this kind of a horror story from anyone else.